Apple is being told to tear down its pearly gates. And I get to laugh.
Pearly gates made out of money.
Money gates.
Money gates. They just have piles of money so high that you can't climb over them.
That's probably true, actually.
Yeah.
If they did pile their money into...
And underneath the money, the piles of money, there's a foundation of dead children. Killed in the factories. The Foxconn factories or whatever. Whoever's their people are now that they're...
Exploiting?
Yes. Anyways, this is the Gamers 2 podcast, your weekly roundup of news and commentary related to the video game industry and anything else that might pique our interest. Like what those evil apples are up to.
Those Granny Smiths. You alright?
Yeah. What's up?
Sniffles?
I randomly decided to blow my nose while I went to the bathroom a couple minutes ago, and now my nose is like, yo, you want me to run, bro? I got you.
Don't worry, fam. I'm here for you.
And then I was just also deep in thought about, I wonder if the apple for Apple is like, the apple of knowledge.
The forbidden fruit?
Yes.
Ah.
It's got the
that
bite
would
out
be
of
a
it.
very interesting.
Yeah. It'd explain a lot.
It really would, actually.
Steve Jobs was really fucking Satan.
Well, when you put it like that.
Just saying. Just saying.
Just having a conversation, man.
Just working things out.
Yeah. But when you really think about it, Switch Sports Golf is a great time.
That was. The sports games in particular piss me off because, obviously I hate Nintendo.
That's true.
But then when you play the sports games, you play them like, oh, I'm going to play golf with friends real quick. You can't help but enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, they got something good here.
Yeah, it's just always the fun party time.
Yeah.
Where if you remove Nintendo, Matt would be happy.
Yeah. And it's like it's simple enough to where you can pick it up and learn in 2 seconds, but there's enough bullshit to you don't know what's going to happen.
I think I rib-shotted 5 putts in a row.
Yep. 5 in a row, yep.
And then I had the best putt.
But I also had the multiple water hazards in a row.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah.
So.
And then you still finished it on the best putt of the
Nintendo. They give it, they take it.
Nintendo giveth and they taketh away.
Yep.
I have some things I could giveth you.
New release video games?
You bet your ass that's what they are. Number 1, 2 Point Campus Space Academy DLC.
And then after that, you can get Kerbal Space
Program.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
2. Number 2, Wave Tale for the PC, PlayStation, and Switch.
But it'll be about surfing.
And the Xbox. Number 3, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion for the PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. Number 4, GTA Online Los Santos Drug Wars.
What was happening the whole time before Drug Wars?
More Drug Wars.
Okay.
These ones are druggier. Number 5, High on Life for PC and Xbox. And guess what, Matt? What else is that on?
It's on Game Pass.
You bet your ass it's on Game Pass. You know what?
There's some more stuff on Game Pass that's in this podcast.
You want to know what else I could get on? You know what else I could get? Game Pass 4?
$1 hair.
Dude, believe it or not.
100 pennies.
100 pennies would get me High on Life.
And umpteen many more games.
That's true. There's a lot more on there. Hot Wheels is on there.
Yeah. That alone. Boom, right there. 2 amazing
Lego
games.
Star Wars Skywalker Saga is on there.
Infinite amount of time that game will take up.
For $1. You get a co-op buddy and you're like, dude, let's play some Lego Star Wars. You're going to be there forever.
Yeah.
Literally.
You could dump 200 hours in that game. Easy.
Won't be done.
Easy.
Number 7, Lil Gator game for the PC and Switch. Number 8, The Witcher 3, all these years later.
Wait a sec. I was going to say, wait a second.
The up-res port.
A lot of people are jazzed about that.
A lot of people are. Number 9, Aka for the Switch, or AKA the Switch. Number 10, The Crack Pet Show for the PC and Switch.
I originally that registered in my brain as the Crock-Pot Show, and I was
100%.
like, okay, we got a game about Crock-Pots?
I triple took before I started speaking what that was, because I almost said Crock-Pot.
Yeah.
Number 11, The Block for the PC. Number 12, The Fantastic Kitty Roo for the PC. And number 13, Panda Punch for the PC, PlayStation, Xbox, and Switch. And there's 2 ways I want that game to turn out, Matt. I haven't looked at it, and somebody will get angry with me. But you know how I want that game to turn out? There's 1 of 2 ways.
Okay.
Which is the first one?
I don't know. Skadoosh?
No. You punch a panda.
Okay.
It's like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, except you're just punching pandas.
Okay.
Or Panda Punch, you're a panda.
And you're punching things.
Punching out everybody else.
Yeah.
And then, you just get them and you gnaw on them. You just, because you got little teeth.
I'm going to guess it's a story about small children who want to make the ultimate lemonade stand, and they hear about this thing called Panda Punch. They're like, well, let's sell Panda Punch. And
Unknown to them, the cartel.
Exactly. And then it's just a whole adventure where they're trying to get Panda Punch. And,
Trying to get Panda Punch or trying to distribute Panda Punch?
Get the Panda Punch. Or maybe both. Maybe half the game's getting the Panda Punch, the other half is trying to distribute the Panda Punch on their turf and keep all the other people out of their turf.
They come across a stash of Panda Punch not knowing, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, we could just use this for our lemonade. And it's a really good lemonade.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to keep buying it. They don't understand why. And then the gang shows up.
Exactly. And then Arnold's like, get in my chopper.
No, they're after my Panda Punch. It's a step away from, obviously, Tortilla Boy.
Yes.
But it's a step away from the South Park episode when Butters is a pimp and doesn't understand why.
Worlds colliding.
It's like, nah, you're all my bitches. And it's like, Butters, you have no idea what you're talking about. He's at the giant, pimp convention. They're like, how long have you been pimping? He's like, about 10 days.
Oh, good stuff. What are you feeling this week? Odds or evens?
Evens.
Evens. All right. That makes me the odd one. And more Microsoft and Sony drama to kick things off.
And if I wanted to read this, I wanted to read the one that brings me joy, Matt.
Okay. All right. Is that an odd? Yes,
No,
it is.
It's even. Number 2.
Oh, what's 2? Oh, I thought you were talking about the Metzen.
No, we'll get there.
Okay. All right. Little foreshadowing. There we go. Microsoft has offered Sony the right to include Call of Duty within its PS Plus subscription service, according to Bloomberg. This is in addition to the deal that would guarantee Call of Duty comes to PlayStation, Nintendo, and Steam platforms for at least the next 10 years. One of the concerns from regulators around this deal is the impact subscriptions and streaming may have on the future of gaming, and whether Call of Duty in particular would give Microsoft an unassailable advantage over its competitors in these areas. So there you go, a little update on that whole, offering Sony 10 years. They also offered to put it on PS Plus. Kind of crazy. Kind of shows how much Microsoft doesn't care. They just want the deal to happen, and they don't see Call of Duty in the same way that everyone else does.
I think this is slowly turning into a harsh reality for whoever got paid by Sony at the FTC, Sony themselves, and everybody else. Who we've already had the EU literally say no, that didn't happen.
Yep.
So that's already my favorite story of the entire thing, is that Europe went, shut up.
Yeah.
Followed by now this one where they're like, oh, well, we're worried about it being on subscription services. Okay, you can put it on your subscription service. That's not what we meant. It's like, no. Whatever you have a problem with, I will just solve it in the next sentence I say.
Yep.
Try me again.
Sony is the king of the moving goalpost.
But the worst part is they're moving. They don't. They moved the goalpost, but didn't move their goalie.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, the goalie is still standing there. They move the goalpost from behind the goalie now to over there, and Microsoft just scored again. They're like, you can't do that, and they're like, then
That's the goal.
You guys got to get better at this because this is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what's going to happen when the FTC doesn't want to budge. Because, like,
then if it ends up in courts, FTC is screwed, I would think. Logically,
when that
Microsoft
would be the
just
case.
Goes, we've done everything they've complained about. We've offered solutions.
But the problem is now we're in government.
Yeah.
Government reality.
Now we're into who can pay who.
Yeah. I don't know. It's silly. It is very silly. Sony needs to, like, if they put this much effort into, like, expanding, making more good games.
The amount of money they've put into trying to stop one acquisition from happening, that what they'll say is, well, the reason we have to make Last of Us remake again is because we didn't have any more money or ideas, is because you spent all your time doing this.
Yeah. Yeah. Bastards.
Do we have that Last of Us news in here? Did you put that in? Please.
Yes.
God damn it.
Which one? The what they're working on?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that bullshit when we get there. Number 2. Apple is reportedly planning to allow third-party app stores on iOS in its next major software update. According to Bloomberg, the move is being encouraged by the EU's new Digital Markets Act, which seeks to ban large platform holders from gatekeeping software on their devices. The new rule says that users must be allowed to install and use third-party apps, as well as be able to sideload software by downloading directly, something Apple has historically not permitted on its hardware. This will also give developers the option of which app store to release products on, which could mean circumnavigating Apple's 30% App Store cut. Companies have until March 6, 2024 to comply with the rule. Bloomberg reported that Apple is still considering mandating certain security requirements, which includes verification on external apps and potential fees. It is also still undecided on whether to allow third-party payment systems, a move that led to a complex lawsuit between Apple and Epic Games last year. An investigation is also underway in the UK regarding Apple and Google's ability to restrict cloud gaming across mobile devices.
There's a feeling of reckoning in the air.
Smell that?
Smells
like lawsuits and problems.
It's all coming together now. Between the cord stuff, the port stuff, the App Store stuff, and payments, and now the cloud stuff as well. It's like...
It's partially like this is probably wrong, 'cause somebody would argue with me about it, but it's probably just the air of, like, Europe as a whole just being sick of Apple's shit. And it's not just Apple, but it's a lot of everybody's shit where they're like, no, there's no reason you can tell me I need 85 phone chargers. There's no reason. Stop it. And so that's how that one happens. And now they're to this one where they're like, some official somewhere is like, what do you mean I can't just get this?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, we have to go by this or this. And it's like, no. Sorry. We're done.
Yeah. Yeah. I would like a iCloud alternative.
I mean, they exist, but I know what you mean.
Yeah.
On the iPhone.
Mm-hmm. I'm sick of Apple asking me to pay more money a month for more iCloud space so I can back up my phone. But then if you turn it off, you lose features. It's kind of a weird catch-22 they got going on there.
It's the old free MMO problem.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Oh, that'd be a real shame if all of a sudden you stop paying and you lose all these features.
Yeah.
Lost all these features.
Exactly.
I can't speak proper English.
That's right.
I know do the talk word good.
You're in good company.
I'm in company.
Number 3. Another lovely company, Amazon Games, has signed an agreement. The theme of this week's episode is Amazon signing things. That seems to be the thing.
All right.
It might not be like an obvious thing, but they They did a lot this week, so weird. Anyways,
Did they do a lot while also simultaneously doing nothing?
yes, that's
Ah.
a spot on.
Love these weeks. Those are my favorite ones to talk about.
Amazon Games has signed an agreement with Crystal Dynamics for its next Tomb Raider game. The next adventure of Lara Croft will be a multi-format, single-player narrative game built using Unreal Engine 5. It is in early development. Amazon said it is working with the developer from the ground up to bring their vision to life, from development all the way through publishing. It's the biggest external signing yet for Amazon, which also operates 3 internal studios in Montreal, San Diego, and Orange County, which is the developer of New World. The company worked with Smilegate RPG to release Lost Ark in February and announced a publishing deal with Bandai Namco for its online RPG Blue Protocol during the Game Awards. Amazon is also publishing a new IP from developers Disruptive Games and Glowmade. Both studios are creating online multiplayer games. They seem to be getting a lot of publishing deals,
Which I think is, we agreed back in the day.
Yes.
That's what they should do.
Yes. Someone from Amazon listening to this podcast, clearly.
I have many millions of dollars of ideas for you. You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
For whichever you've already enacted.
Yeah. Which probably were in planning stages well before we said anything. But we're going to take the win.
I'm all about taking wins.
Yeah.
Take them where I can get them. And when you don't have many, you hang on to the ones you do have.
Exactly. Even if they're not real.
Like my number 4, oh God, I hate these people. Several members of Congress have penned a letter to ask top game companies how they are addressing extremism. As reported by Axios, the inquiry will be sent to gaming firms such as Activision Blizzard, Electronic Arts, and Sony. The legislator's letter has been attributed to the Anti-Defamation League's new hate and harassment in online gaming report, which was released last week. The survey found that exposure to white supremacist ideologies and identity-based harassment is increasing in online games. Axios says the Congress inquiry will request details such as what systems are in place to fight extremism and data on disciplinary actions taken against players for violations.
Ooh, boy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's a battle that never ends.
For sure, for sure. It is interesting. Nothing could happen. There could be ramifications down the road. You never know, because it's Congress, and I'm sure
but
when
it's
they
also
need,
like, okay, you go after those 3, things specifically, or 3 people that were at least named anyway.
It's whack-a-mole, is what it is.
It's whack-a-mole, but also it's I don't know what they do, like other than typical like chat logs and whatever, where they just yank things based on specific words and rely on user reports to ban people and yada yada.
This is the classic American way of doing things. Let's treat the symptom and not the problem.
Sure. But like when you get through all of that and you whack out, however many bans a month or whatever for that specifically versus other things. Okay. How do you stop it from coming back, or how do you blah? It's like the best way, which is the worst way, the easiest way to solve the solution. What?
What?
The easiest way to solve the problem is not the best solution, but it is to just turn off all chat features.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let chat exist. Okay. That eliminates a bunch of it. At least within your game, if you're looking at like getting fined by the FTC or FCC, whatever. You go, oh, they just literally can't talk to each other inside of our games. It's not our problem. Whatever they're saying in Discord is now Discord's problem. It's like, it's a real move in the goalpost, but it's the way to move the goalpost and literally go, not my goal.
Yeah.
I don't even play on this team. I don't even go here.
It's
does that spawn a new issue? Yes, but
yeah,
it makes it not your problem.
I mean, this to me is just like lip service because they don't want to deal with the actual like problem.
The fact that they're probably the people that are asking the question are the problem.
Yes. Yupper doodles. On to other things we can make fun of. Following the launch of Need for Speed Unbound, Criterion.
Just stop there.
Yeah.
Good joke. What's the rest? What's the story?
Criterion has seen an exodus. Matt Webster, VP and GM of Criterion, has left the studio. Webster has been with Criterion for over 23 years and has been working for EA since 1990. Also departing is executive producer Pete Lake, who first joined Criterion back in 1996 as an artist. He leaves alongside senior technical director Andre Shires, a 16-year veteran. Head of studio development Alan McDermott is also moving on after 17 years with EA, while Steve Uphill, head of content...
Oh, what a great last name.
Head of content leaves following his latest 10-year stint with the developer. All 5 have left to, quote, explore new opportunities outside of EA, end quote.
Surprising?
Guess not. Not surprising.
I haven't even seen clips of this game getting posted.
No, because it's
even
terrible.
Even when games come out,
I'm
not interested in. I usually will still see like a clip from a random streamer like show up on Twitter of like, oh, based on people you follow or something like that. Nope.
I've only seen videos and stuff of it for people using it for memes or making fun of it.
I haven't even seen that.
So that's
if we don't count the one Jimmy Broadbent thing I saw.
Yeah. The other Bungie is still people are still dipping out of Bungie as well. It wasn't super relevant. Like I haven't been putting them in, but like every week there's been another person leaving Bungie. So
Bungie, who are still waiting for the Cyberpunk Destiny DLC to come out. Not directly, not directly Cyberpunk, but you know.
Oh yeah. I don't know what it is with like, God, whoever's running EA's racing division needs to like
run it.
They need to leave.
Yes, true. Again, person at Amazon, if you're listening, purchase EA, fire that person, hire us.
Yeah.
We will run a racing division for you like the world has not seen. You want to rival?
Honestly, Amazon, you want to be instantly top dog in video games? Buy EA, buy Ubisoft.
Buy both of them, call them EA Soft.
I like it.
And then hire Matt and I as lead of both of them. Yves Guillemot can retire into the French countryside. French countryside. And Matt and I will run EA Soft together.
Yeah.
And you will actually see a return when him and I lead projects that make sense. Splinter Cell's back. Division is getting reworked.
Yep.
Rainbow Six, you're getting a new one. Well, I don't know what it is yet. Ghost Recon, we got to talk.
You're going away for a little while. Assassin's Creed.
We're gonna we can keep going down the path you think you're going down, but we're fleshing this out.
Yeah.
And we're not talking about 95 releases anymore.
We're immediately being like, there's 3 years between releases at least. They're like, no, it doesn't take that long to develop. You're taking 3 years. And if you take a day less than 3 years, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Now you, EA, this FIFA thing? Or, sorry, this EA soccer or EA football, whatever you're calling it now? Fix it. Madden, I'm looking at you two, both of you. Figure it out. Racing division. Actually, you know what? You two kind of just print money. I'll deal with you in a minute.
It'd be more like FIFA. You're done. You're done. You're done. You lost your privilege with soccer. We're buying the Football Manager developer, and that's it. It's all. No backlip.
No, I'd literally be like, see what you're doing? I don't like it. I like some of it. I don't like all of it. We got to change how you do things. We got to make it more friendly. I have ideas. Madden, same thing. Both of you, as far as I'm concerned, get rid of contracts in your ultimate teams. They don't need to be there. Stop that. That's really all I kind of have. I'll come back to you eventually. Racing division, we have problems. We bought Codemasters. Codemasters, nice to see you here. Really happy for you. What do they have you working on right now? Whole lot of nothing. Oh, they canceled all your series. Okay, all right. You guys want to bring back Project Cars? Like, what do you think you want to do? Because I like what you do. You tell me. Well, we'd like to have the Need for Speed series. Done. Criterion, what are you doing now? I just gave them your game. What do you want? We kind of want to help them. Okay. You guys are all now Codemasters. Criterion answers to Codemasters. Criterion doesn't exist. HR! Just merging teams. Just there. Problem solved. It would work. I'd walk in there with a 3-year plan to release one game.
Mm-hmm.
Across all 35 of my properties.
Yeah.
And go, listen, it's going to take me a bit to fix this. But once we're in a process, in a place, I have ideas. Skull and Bones is canceled. Just so we're clear.
You know what? Everything you're working on, canceled.
Actually, you know what? No, Skull and Bones is now released. It's not even canceled. That's worse punishment for you. It is released as of tomorrow. Find a way to make the servers go live. I'm calling HBO and we're canceling the show. I don't know who made that deal.
You'll always look at this game as a monument to your failure.
Who made that deal? You? You're fired.
Oh man!
And before I realized I just don't have any of this power, and I'm just the janitor in the office.
You fired too many people.
Yeah. It's like, good news. EA got bought. EA and Ubisoft got bought by Amazon. Better news. They're on a hiring spree. Bad news. Don't look at the bad news. It's because I fired everybody. After nearly 10 years, number 6, John Carmack's time helping to guide VR hardware efforts at Meta, and Oculus before that, have come to a close. The id Software co-founder and Doom co-creator officially left Meta on Friday night, according to an internal company memo obtained by Insider and confirmed by the New York Times. Carmack's departure message serves as a scathing indictment of crippling inefficiency at Meta that he said he was offended by. Quote, "We have a ridiculous amount of people and resources, but we constantly self-sabotage and squander effort. There is no way to sugarcoat this. I think our organization is operating at half the effectiveness that would make me happy," end quote. More personally, Carmack complained that it has been a struggle for him to influence Meta's overall direction and that he's wearied of the fight. Despite his high-ranking consulting CTO executive advisor title, Carmack complained that he is evidently not persuasive enough to change Meta VR's efforts for the better. Back in late 2021, Carmack also had some words of warning as Meta pivoted towards the idea of the metaverse. Carmack said we should be wary of architecture astronauts who do a lot of high-level and hand-waving instead of building viable products that customers find useful. I can't read.
I love that he left and just mic dropped on the way out. Like the whole memo was just him shitting on Meta, basically being like, "This is a shit show."
Hey, I don't work here anymore, and they have no fucking idea what they're doing.
Mm-hmm. So depending on what he does, I see this as kind of like, if he doesn't go on to like do anything else with VR, I think this is very much going to be like the end of an era.
Yeah. Or if he goes to a competitor.
I mean, hopefully he goes to a competitor. Ideally, you know what the best thing for VR as an ecosystem would be, probably? If you went to Valve.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
Valve or, I don't know, there's a few new headsets that are like interesting, but they're too expensive. There's like a Pixio or something that's pretty interesting, but it's like hyper expensive.
Send them to PlayStation.
Yeah, PlayStation wouldn't be a bad one.
Just to let
But
them...
honestly, I don't know. I don't know how he would do making games like for VR because he seems to be more of a hardware guy right now. But
yeah, but I think he could also improve their hardware.
Yeah, I think.
But Valve would be probably the best like independent of console choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. HTC is apparently going to announce a Meta Quest competitor
Interesting.
in a week or two, which it does need.
And
a
John
competitor.
Carmack going to HTC.
Yeah.
That's the competitor. They just hired him.
Meta would be like, "Fuck." All right, let's get into some interesting news.
Interesting.
Number 7, Chris Metzen has returned to Blizzard Entertainment to work on Warcraft. Before his 2016 departure, he had a 22-year stint at the company and previously served as Senior Vice President of Creative Development. John Haidt, is that how you say that? Do you know?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. John Haidt, Senior Vice President and General Manager of the Warcraft series, announced Metzen's comeback on Twitter. Quote, "It is with great joy that I announce Chris Metzen has joined the Warcraft leadership team as creative advisor. Chris's focus initially will be on World of Warcraft. Then his work will expand to other projects across this growing franchise." End quote. Back in 2018, Metzen co-founded Warchief Gaming, a tabletop gaming club and studio. Thoughts?
Immediate thoughts, good things. The bad things are easier to talk about, so let's talk about the bad things.
Okay.
The potential bad thing is they were doing a whole lot of like removing the old guard and yada yada yada, and going through all their allegation stuff. And for my understanding, Metzen was cleared in it, but I don't 100% know like how that'll affect people that are there.
Okay.
From a fan perspective, that ignoring that,
the potential,
which is hard to do. It's not like I'm just brushing it aside, but
I'll say on that subject real quick. I had similar thoughts, and I kind of feel like the whole creative advisor might have been a strategic choice to say like
he's not here, he's advising.
Yes,
and that's where part of that is for me. Also, at least as far as Warcraft is concerned, the moment he left post Legion, it became very clear they did not know what to do. As far as I'm concerned, it became very abundant over the last 2 expansions that
they don't have a vision.
Did not have a vision that was cohesive and made sense. Because you get to a point where you're going through things and like playing the game and reading and like watching what the choices they're making. You're like, none of this makes sense. Why you would do this? Where this came from? The big baddie, all Now, did other ones? Not necessarily, but like
I'm wondering,
last 2 were some of the 2 like worst, at least story wise, where he lived in that universe essentially and like guided it in a way that I could almost watch him coming back in and going, "What the fuck were you guys doing?"
Yeah,
like, well, we thought it would be fun to do this or this, and he's like, "What are you talking about?" Like that could have happened, but you had to give it another 10 years, like incubators and everything else. And
I kind of think like this is not directly related to this story, but it's kind of like some things that have happened in the world recently as far as entertainment goes that makes me think this. But it's almost like people are like the success of the whole idea of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Like I feel like the big takeaway that people are noticing in these companies recently is that like there's a lot to be gained from having a person who is controlling the vision.
This is the universe as I see it, and I am the keeper.
Yeah.
Type. Like, even though they might not like see it that way, like they might not be that arrogant as I would be to possess it that way, but it's like you have the one vision and they know how all the puzzle pieces fit together and they make it coherent to show the puzzle to somebody else, but they are building it themselves type of thing. Not let's have 85 people hold on to a bunch of different pieces and then have to all talk to you about how they all work together.
Yeah. Which obviously MMOs and specifically WoW, because it has such a long lineage, like could benefit from something like that big time. No, you remember like when all the Blizzard stuff started going down and then Microsoft buying Activision Blizzard and all that, like trying to, at least we were getting jazzed about the possibilities of the future. And I don't know. It's been nice. Like, I feel like Blizzard, as far as like WoW specifically, but Blizzard as a whole, as far as making games goes, it seems like they're making a lot of what seem like good decisions. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Mm-hmm.
I know that there's some that people don't agree with. There's definitely practices I don't agree with in the games, but like so far, the majority of them, I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, D4 is their next test.
Yeah, I guess that'll be the one that's like that'll show what they've done.
Can't really screw that up, or else you're gonna get
those cinematics so good.
It's true. They do make very pretty cinematics. Let's go now to number 8, which some franchises are making their way to live action via film and TV series. Starting with Hideo Kojima's 2019 adventure title Death Stranding is receiving a film adaptation. As reported by Deadline, Kojima's Productions and Hammerstone Studios will develop and produce the movie. According to the report, the plot will introduce new elements and characters to the Death Stranding universe. It is clearly unclear whether the existing characters will be played by the same actors seen in the game.
Which
I feel like it would be weird if they weren't.
I was going to say, if you don't, what the fuck are you doing?
After you purposely get actors to play them in the game, how do you not get the same actors to then play them on the stage?
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing if you obviously have if you had Norman Reedus just voice somebody and you didn't get the Joel and Ellie problem.
Yep.
But no, you put Guillermo del Toro and Norman Reedus and Mads Mikkelsen, like all of them in the game.
This scares me a little bit. Kojima making a movie.
7 hours. The theater pauses it halfway through to hit the bathroom break.
Legitimately, how long do you think the movie will be?
3.5 hours.
3.5 hours, okay.
If he is allowed to go full Kojima.
If he's allowed, I was going to say 3:15. That was what I was thinking.
Yep. We're in the same ballpark. Following early rumors, Amazon Prime Video confirmed to have ordered a God of War TV series featuring the Wheel of Time's Rafe Judkins as the showrunner, and Mark Fergus and Hawk Otsby, known for Children of Men, Iron Man, and The Expanse, as the adaptation's writers and producers. Thoughts that's where Corey has been spending his time.
Maybe. I don't know if I necessarily like the idea of a God of War TV series.
Seeing how they said it's going to be in the Norse one, that's where I'm like,
that doesn't seem like a wise choice.
Well, it seems like you could do it, but like, what war are you talking about? Like, we've kind of already,
and especially with how, like, it's just the logistics of it. Like, what are you going to cover? Who's going to play these characters?
Who's playing Kratos?
Yeah, because now
that's a pretty
big deal. Yeah, it's a pretty big deal, especially when you had the easy option of going back to Greece and doing some of the Greece stuff.
Yeah, it's been long enough.
Yeah, because then you could have recovered that stuff, not had to remaster any games, but get the story out there again. And it wouldn't be as hard to cast because you're removed from what we all know of as Kratos right now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
It'll still be interesting.
I'm sure.
It'd also be interesting if they just ignored Kratos.
Then did something else?
They do the old, it's God of War, but he doesn't show up until the end.
Maybe it's God of War and it's going to be Norse, but you will just be following Tyr around.
You're following the dwarves the entire time?
Yeah. Or the dwarves or literally, well, that would be the twist would be it's God of War, but we're following Tyr because in Norse mythology, he's the God of War.
Yeah. Or God of War, but you are following the dwarves.
Mm-hmm.
And all you see is Kratos pop in and out, or you hear his voice as they're like talking to him, but they're looking off screen clearly at something. And all you see is like usually the back of him walking away. And there's no, it's like, oh man, he's going off to save the world again. Oh, it's crazy, isn't it? Every time he just comes here and he just leaves again and he's just murmuring to himself. I don't know what the fuck he's on about. Like, just that type of.
What the fuck's he always do to the axe? It's always so dull. Like, just
every time we get this thing back. Amazon Studios has secured global rights to the Warhammer 40K from Games Workshop for Henry Cavill to star in and executive produce the franchise across all Amazon Studio productions. The agreement encompasses rights to the universe across TV series, film, and likely games and animation. On Instagram, Henry Cavill said, "For 30 years, I have dreamt of seeing a Warhammer universe in live action. Now, after 22 years of experience in this industry, I finally feel that I have the skill set and experience to guide a Warhammer cinematic universe into life. Partnering with Natalie Viscuso at Vertigo has been a blessing beyond words. Without her, we might not have found the perfect home at Amazon. And having a home like Amazon will give us the freedom to be true to the massive scope of Warhammer. To all of you Warhammer fans out there, I promise to respect this IP that we love. I promise to bring you something familiar, and I endeavor to bring you something fantastic that is, as of yet, unseen. Our first steps are to find our filmmaker, creator, writer. Watch this space, my friends, for the Emperor." A nerd, actor, nerd running it.
I know what Warhammer 40K is.
Yep.
And that is it.
Yep.
So we won't be a good judge of it, but I'm genuinely curious based on his past experiences with The Witcher and all that good stuff. It was looking like a rough week for him initially.
Yeah, The Witcher, where he's like, "You're not following the source material," and they almost basically went, "What source material?" And they're like,
and then he's like, "That's it, I'm out."
Yeah.
And then there was the
they
Superman.
wrote books on this.
And then the Superman news came out where he's out as Superman as well, and I was like, "Oh, rough week for Henry Cavill."
Yeah, then I was just like, "Give me my Arthas."
Yeah, yep. And then he was like, "Psych."
Which 40K? I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
You listen. If he says, "Hey, I'm doing nerddom," I go, okay.
Yeah. All right. I'm happy for him, obviously. Makes me a little sad because of the missed opportunities I feel like we're going to have now. Like, he would have been a great... I've seen the stuff on Reddit.
He would have been an amazing Arthas, but let's be fair.
Mm-hmm.
That was never going to happen.
No.
Blizzard got burned with their original movie,
and
they were never going to do another one, I think is what they're feeling. Well, not never.
I'm still holding out hope for Mass Effect, but...
The likelihood of them doing another one is unbelievably small.
And honestly, if given the option of, all right, so you're Blizzard and you want to try to make a new movie, if the options were live action Henry Cavill as Arthas, or let's do a cinematic, like let's just do what we know and we'll just make a movie, I'm gonna say do what you know and make the movie, because you make pretty fucking epic cinematic shit. So that's my opinion. What do you look like you're struggling over there?
I am, because you're objectively correct.
Mm-hmm.
The cinematic one would be the better immediate, the base for both of them. The cinematic base is higher. The ceiling for Arthas of Henry Cavill, though, is higher.
Oh yeah,
them doing that right. I would love to see, even if they didn't make the movie, which would be this would be a blue balls of all blue balls. If they didn't make the movie, but they reshot the Wrath of the Lich King trailer cinematic with Cavill playing Arthas, you would have everybody lose their mind.
It's true.
It would just, people would be like, "Woo, we're doing it," and then just never mention it again.
I mean, if they did it, if they did it right, practical effects where they could, all real, like
you'd have
not green screen like the other.
You'd have less of the original problem, because the majority of Arthas's story, minus some, like when you get to the actual undead Arthas part, though, it would be essentially like the making of the Lich King. So that wouldn't be towards like the real end of it, where then you'd be a lot more CGI because of zombies and skeletons and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But the majority of the beginning is humans, humans and dwarves. Like, hey, Amazon did it, you can do it. Like,
yeah. So the other thing kicking around with Henry Cavill has been a lot of people, the whole Mass Effect thing. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. The N7 day.
Well, that and him reading the
book,
script, or book or whatever. The one thing I saw suggested was, which I really like the idea of, because everyone's like, "Oh, Commander Shepard." I think that's a bad idea.
Okay,
throwing that out there,
right.
because the whole idea of Shepard is you play the Shepard that you want it to be. So,
right.
all the people who think of Fem Shep are immediately going to be upset. Him playing as Admiral Hackett during the First Contact War. So that's pre-Mass Effect, and you probably don't know who any of these people are. Admiral Hackett,
He's
older
talking
guy,
to a wall now.
older guy.
Okay.
He's an admiral. He's kind of like a mentor to Shepard, sort of. A young version of him going through the First Contact War. That's where it's at. Not going to happen, but pie in the sky. Anyways, number 9,
Splinter Cell movie.
where he's Sam Fisher.
Yeah.
I mean, see, that's the problem with Henry Cavill.
I know.
You can just fucking insert him anywhere. You're like, well, it's great. Because I don't know what would be a bad movie. Let's try to think of a bad movie to put Henry Cavill in.
Like a bad video game movie to put him in.
Yeah.
Need for Speed.
That doesn't count. It makes everything bad.
I mean, they had the movie. It was terrible.
Yeah.
And putting him in it doesn't make it good.
That's true. All right, number 9.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it'd be right. What does?
No, because it was Magneto.
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
He's got a Le Mans series on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
Apparently he's racing with Porsche.
But also, that movie wasn't good.
No. Yeah, but those franchises I wouldn't like.
Hitman doesn't fit that for him.
He could, though, if he shaved his head and everything like that.
You don't want him to shave his head, though.
He's got luscious hair.
That's why you want him. That's why you want him in
it.
Sam Fisher. So
he could do it.
He has the sweet goggles, but he's also wearing a black turtleneck, and you're kind of like, all right, man, crush me.
Yeah, but then it's like, are you Archer?
That's the whole joke of Archer.
Is that Sam Fisher?
Yeah. Or any other, Sam Fisher mixed with Bond.
Yeah, they're all the same.
That's why when he played, I want to say Bridge of Spies. That's not it, though. Isn't it the spy movie that he's with? Not Fassbender, and with,
with, what's his face? The Man from U.N.C.L.E.?
Yeah, Man from U.N.C.L.E.
That's a great fucking movie.
Yeah.
Such a good movie.
He's already done it once. Just have him do it again. Except this time it's in a game universe.
That'd be good. All right, number 9, rumors and leaks. Assassin's Creed Jade, the first open-world franchise installment geared towards mobile devices, has had a gameplay video leak appear on Reddit. Did you watch it?
Absolutely not.
I did.
Oh, boy.
And if it came out on PC, I would play it.
Yeah. Oh, what? What?
Because here's the thing that I've come to realize with Ubisoft. If they stopped tripping over their own fucking feet and just made simple games, they're good. It's kind of like the Immortal Phoenix Rising thing.
Oh, okay.
It's essentially stripped away the complication. It's a simple, straightforward game, and had good gameplay. It was good to look at. It was fun to play. And that's essentially what this looks like. It looks like what it looks like, because obviously it's a mobile game. Assassin's Creed on rails, like running,
Temple Run?
Kind of, but not really. It's on rails, like it's linear, and it's almost like a kind of like a hack and slash adventure thing.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, this looks like it would be good, like just a simple
just chill.
Yeah, just like kind of a chill. And I was like, oh, this is not bad, and it looks good, surprisingly. Guerrilla Games has confirmed the existence of Horizon Online, which leaked from a job listing. A little synopsis here. Quote, featuring a new cast of characters and a unique stylized look, friends will be able to explore the majestic wilds of Horizon together. End quote. So we have a live service, multiplayer Horizon coming.
I don't know if I like that.
I like the idea of it, but
Sure, that sentiment. I like the idea, but based on what they've done with the first two games,
how does it not just turn into like kind of a Monster Hunter,
sure,
which I'm not a fan of, to be clear.
I'd be okay with it turning into a Monster Hunter kind of thing, but they went so insane with trying to customize things in 2 that I worry that they would make it unplayable in a single player scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Like the crux of a good multiplayer game is you can play it solo or you can play it with people, and playing with people will, yes, speed it up and give you more like fun interactions, but you can do it solo. And I have a bad feeling that you can do it solo will be like, oh, it takes you 6 months now to craft something, instead of like,
Yeah. They did make it seem like it was going to be, you know, like, oh, it's going to be story driven and all this and that. And I'm just like, I obviously I like the idea of it, but I always am skeptical because like no one has ever been able to do it right. According to Microsoft insider Jez Corden, one of the issues Fable has faced was Microsoft's insistence that their games be developed using custom in-house engines where possible, rather than something like Unreal Engine 5. I do think that's an interesting thought, because that was clearly a Bungie issue with Halo. And I'm not saying that's Microsoft's fault, because we all know Bungie. And if someone were to ask me, I would assume that Bungie were the ones who were like, no, we'd rather build an in-house engine. But it's an interesting thought, just because of what we've seen with EA and Ubisoft, and I don't know, there's probably a bunch of other examples. How like once entities get to a certain size, they seem to all get fixated on using their own in-house solutions to things.
yeah.
So it would be interesting to find out if that was the case with Microsoft or not. Blue Point Games are teasing their new project that will supposedly launch in 2023. They sneakily inserted a tease into a holiday greeting artwork. The artwork has 4 presents. 3 presents are unwrapped and showcase a sword, which is Wanda from Shadow of the Colossus. I didn't know that was their name, or whoever's name that was. A shield, which is a reference to Demon's Souls remake, and an axe, which is a reference to God of War, all of which have been their previous projects. One of the presents is still wrapped and is sitting under the Christmas tree. So, like, I guess that's a tease. I don't know.
Well, it would imply you have one more to go.
Yeah, I guess. But, like, what? Give us a hint to what it is, you fuckers.
That's not how gifts work, man.
I don't give a shit. That's how I want it to work. Tell me what the fuck you're working on. And if it's Uncharted, I'm burning this place down. Anyways. Via Tom Henderson. Quote, small update on the PlayStation 5 that has a detachable disk drive. I've heard from 2 people now that the test kit is in people's hands and it works flawlessly, end quote. I guess the idea there, because he did go on a little bit further about it, I guess the idea is to simplify the manufacturing process so they're only making one PlayStation.
Oh, interesting.
We've saved the worst for last. This is a rumor. I want to make that clear. Naughty Dog is working on The Last of Us Part 3, and the game is already in production under Neil Druckmann.
How surprised are you on a scale of negative 7,000 to 2?
Listen, I don't want to say I'm not surprised,
but
I'm just disappointed.
Good man.
I'm just disappointed. I just was hoping for something different.
I was hoping for something different solely for the reason. There's one reason. One big reason.
Is it The Last of Us? The Last of Us Remake? The Last of Us Part 1? Is there another one? Are they doing some sort of... Is Part 1 the next gen update? Are they doing a next gen update? I don't know how this works. I don't remember.
Well, there was there was The Last of Us. There was The Last of Us Remake.
Yeah.
Then there was The Last of Us Part 2. Then there was The Last of Us Part 1.
Yeah.
Remaster or remake.
Yes.
And now there's supposed to be, the joke would be that whenever Sony does the new PS5, there would be The Last of Us 2 remake or remaster.
Yeah.
And then on the PS6 would be The Last of Us 2 remake.
Yeah.
But no, my joke and the reason I don't want it, or that I didn't think it was going to happen or whatever, that I'm angry, is because they did their whole speech at the end of 2 where they're like, that's the end. We don't have any. And I was like, just don't ever finite anything. Don't say we don't know. We have ideas that we could potentially go to like a third one with, but we don't know what. We got to talk to Sony and see what they want to do.
Yeah,
like that would be a fine thing. And then even if you never ended up doing it, be like, yep, they just didn't. We didn't come to agreement on how we wanted to proceed, so we're just kind of in an impasse at the moment. But with how 2 ended, you knew 3 was coming. There was no way that they weren't making a 3. It makes too much money.
Yeah.
And they didn't end 2 the way I wanted them to, which would have been with a bang.
I feel like that would have been like...
That would have been such an ending.
Yeah, it would have been perfect. For The Last of Us and the story they were going for and stuff like that, it would have been perfect.
Yeah.
But now, like...
Rather than their whole thing.
What's going to annoy me is the first time I said it in our Snapchat group. The first time we hear someone from Naughty Dog go, well, we didn't want to make another one, but we just had such a good idea. Because they said the same fucking thing about part 2.
Yeah.
It's like, no, don't stop.
It's like anytime you guys could just stop lying. We know how money works.
Yeah.
No one is stupid when it comes to I like money. Anyway, let's talk about some short things. The Game Awards had 103 million viewers this year compared to 85 million last year and 1.9 million in 2014, which was the first year it aired.
Quite the growth.
It's a lot of numbers.
That's a lot of numbers.
Though,
a lot of people.
to be fair, Steam Deck's every minute this year, so... And we did have Christopher Judge taking 85 years to talk.
True.
And
I didn't get a Steam Deck.
Al Pacino, who's just happy to be there.
That. He was happy to.
Sweet old man.
Mm-hmm.
He just kind of embodies you of like a lost grandfather.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I don't know what I'm doing up here.
I mean, it's better than the Clint Eastwood route. Because I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, that's true.
He's getting a little crazy.
Number 2, a class action lawsuit against Epic Games is moving forward in Canada. The plaintiffs claim that Epic Games knowingly created Fortnite to be as addictive as possible. Interesting argument.
Wow,
I wonder if
powerful vibrator on your phone.
Yeah, that's why it's in my crotch.
Oh, okay. I don't kink shame.
Okay, is that even kinky? It would be funny if Epic just showed up to the court case and went, "Yeah, obviously, that's how people make money. Get away from me."
Yeah.
Number 3. Riot Games has filed multiple lawsuits against Chinese publisher NetEase, alleging that its mobile shooter Hyperfront infringes on the copyright of its own title, Valorant. Hopefully that lawsuit's not in China, in which case, get screwed.
Get fucked.
Number 4, well, then, though Riot Games is owned by Tencent, so this will be interesting.
China versus China. Who has more money?
I can't wait for Yakuza 8. Number 4, mobile games from Playtika mobile games firm Playtika is expected to lay off more than 600 employees. Their CEO says the decision is to balance teams, wind down non-core initiatives, and consolidate studios for more efficiency.
What if Tencent just buys
NetEase? Like Hush Child.
Hush.
That'd be a slap-down of a move.
That would be.
It'd be like Microsoft just buying Sony so they shut up. You imagine that going through the FTC when they're like,
they'd just be like, "No, all right, this one we have to say no."
I would love that as their like final card while they're all in the room together having like this court hearing, and they're like, "We've offered them everything and they don't want it," and FTC's like, "I know, but all right, fine, we'll buy them," and then Sony just goes, "Whoa, hey." Number 5, Sonic Frontiers has sold 2.5 million units as of December 12th.
It's more than I would have thought.
That's true. Number 6, RuneScape maker Jagex has acquired Gamepires, the Croatian studio best known for open-world survival game Scum. Jagex aims to help Gamepire's team prepare Scum, which has been in early access since August 2018, for a full 1.0 launch. RuneScape, man. Doing
Yeah.
their thing.
They got that RuneScape money.
That's true. Number 7, Hogwarts Legacy has been half delayed. The launch on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One has been pushed back until April 4th. The Switch version is delayed even further until July 25th. The PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series versions are still on track for February 10th. At this point, cancel the old ones. Number 8, Take-Two publishing label Private Division has launched the Private Division Development Fund. The initiative aims to support smaller studios with mentorship and financing, while Private Division will be assisting independent developers with the fund. Their games will be self-published.
Do you want me to do some of these?
No, I'll finish it out.
All right.
Super Nintendo World US opens on February 17th at Universal Studios Hollywood. Are you going, Matt?
Absolutely not.
All right, just making sure.
I mean,
What if there's real-life Mario Kart and you can huck turtle shells at people?
Yeah, but it's on the other side of the country.
But you can throw turtle shells at people.
I mean, that would be fun.
You imagine just dotting a kid with a turtle shell? And all you see is just him spinning out on the track, and then you see a giant explosion in your rear view, and you're like...
just the mental image of, like, driving a go-kart at speed and then, like, throwing a literal turtle shell at someone.
Or, like, actually eating a banana and then having to throw the peel behind you and just trying to, like, land on people's goggles. The lightning strike one would get real weird.
That would be.
You just electrocute somebody. You get hit. I would love it if you just went through and, like, you punched a box. Like, you're on this track, right? And you just kind of go through and you, like, make the fake joke is, like, hit the box and you keep driving. And if they see you hit the box, they just have somebody standing next to the road that's, like, randomly searching through a bin, and then they just throw you whatever you have. So you just catch a turtle shell, and you're like, yeah, whatever, throw it behind you or huck it in front of you. They throw you a cattle prod, you turn it on and just zap the first person you see and then toss it off to the side.
What's the star then? Like, it's like PCP or something, or like nitrous? I don't know.
Yeah, they activate the nitrous in your cart.
Okay.
And then when you press that, you all of a sudden get also inflatable bumpers. And you just bumper ball your way through to the front. It's like DRS, but Mario Kart. Number 10, Facebook gaming viewership grew by 21% during November. It was the only streaming service that saw growth that month. RIP Facebook gaming.
I don't understand, like, I've never even seen Facebook gaming. Like,
I've seen it, but you want to know what I don't go on?
Facebook?
You're a good man. Number 11, Activision Blizzard is collaborating with researchers to develop AI against online abuse. The effort will also be a 2-year project which aims to detect harmful user behavior online, and I have a feeling that will get brought up during the
Congress
other
thing? Yeah.
Number 12, Tencent has acquired a 20% stake in Shift Up, the Korean studio behind mobile games Destiny's Child and Goddess of Victory, Nikkei, as well as the upcoming PlayStation 5 title, Stellar Blade. I'm not fixing that, by the way.
Okay.
Number 13, Marvel's Spider-Man 2 will be released in fall 2023. Cool. Got something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Massive Entertainment posted to Twitter that they're looking for testers for their Star Wars project, just in case you wanted to test something. 15, Riot Games has officially joined forces with Xbox Game Pass, and if you link your accounts, you get access to basically everything in Riot's games. Basically.
That's a pretty big one.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was massive when this came up during Summer Game Fest or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I was like, you people do not realize how massive this is.
Oh yeah, it's a big one. And I was thinking it was going to be like I didn't realize how full on it was going to be, because it is straight up like, okay, you link your accounts, you have access to all the League of Legends champions or heroes, who the fuck they are.
Yeah, I think you get all
the Valorant characters.
Yep.
It's almost everything.
There's bonus stuff in Wild Rift. There's bonus stuff in TFT. Like,
yeah.
Number 16, a second generation of Steam Deck is coming out, but will mostly focus on screen and battery life improvements. Valve intends to keep performance consistent for now, but as there is value in having a single spec for both users and developers. 17, Valve also wants to make a Steam controller 2 at some point and are open to working with a third party for it. So, hey, we made one bad decision. Let's do another one.
Every once in a while, they get on a roll with
play with
good
that?
hardware. No.
It was weird. I
They
played with
get
it once, and it was just
the touchpads.
the touchpad for Joy-Cons was weird, or for Joy-Cons for joysticks was awkward.
They're on a roll with good hardware, so they're like, we can do another Steam controller.
Anyway, what have you been up to? It's been 7 days.
Not a thing. Let's see here. Started a new book. Listening to a biography on Curtis LeMay, who is an Army Air Force general. I think he was a general during World War II, and the founder of Strategic Air Command post World War II. What else? Rewatching Band of Brothers, halfway through it. Watching anime, Chainsaw Man, it's fantastic. Spy Family, also good. Haven't played any games. Still waiting on my. I actually had to email the company that I bought a sim chassis from because it's been almost a month and it hasn't shipped. And I don't care, but I just am. I'm like, what's going on here? Because I bought it with a credit card. And my credit card's like, they're security crazy.
Yeah.
So I had to they had to call to verify it. And so it was essentially the transaction was on hold for like 2 days or so. And so I was like, what's up? We'll see what they say. And
give my man his chassis.
Yeah, I don't need it right now, but
No,
I just want to know that it's...
I sent it to him because I want to see the chaos happen at Christmas week when he has a new chassis and nowhere to put it.
Nowhere's to put it. I don't have anything else for it either. And the worst part is the overlord, my wife, does not know that it's coming, that it's a thing. So,
that'll be a fun one. Hey, what's this massive box that you ordered? Don't worry about it.
What's all this aluminum extrusion? What else? What else is new? I don't know. I think that's it. I mean, I'm eyeballing this High on Life thing. I might try to play that.
Hey, for $1 on Game Pass.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing I'd like to play it on my TV, but that would take some
coercion.
Yeah, some
coercion.
Yeah, some movement that I don't know if I want to deal with. But yeah, that's it. What are you up to? What have you been up to?
World of Warcraft.
Doing the old Warcraft.
That has been my week. That will be my week for the foreseeable future.
Waiting for you to break down and jump into the raid.
Well, we got time.
I know, but it
already almost happened.
I don't want to see your skill squandered.
I'm all right. I'll survive.
Your raid skills. We got to find you another guild to inadvertently destroy.
To just walk in like, what's up? It's me. I'm the Dead Albatross. Hey, how you doing?
People will be like, fuck. He's here.
Not this guy again.
We just got a new guild together.
Yeah, all it is they just see me apply and they go, no. We know what this means. And I'm always just looming like outside raid instances, watching people walk in, just going, yeah. So it's all over for you now. I'm sorry you saw me. If you never see me, your guild is safe.
That would be great.
If you see me, run for the hills. It's only a matter of time.
You see me start looking for a new guild because it's inevitable. I'm inevitable.
Yeah, just Thanos. I am inevitable. Perfectly balanced. But yeah, nope. Just been doing the WoW thing, running dungeons. Got to run more. Always got to run more. Can't stop. Won't stop. Get it. So yeah, that's about where I'm at.
Yeah.
And that's
I mean,
really
what's
all
on? Is there any? There's nothing really on the horizon for what's
No.
I mean, the next thing is what? I guess Hogwarts Legacy for games coming out.
Yeah, there's probably some other stuff like January, February that like late February there's something, or is it
When's
early
Dead Space? That's like
January? I think it's either right before or right after Hogwarts, and then Breath of the Wild 2, whatever the fucking
Are you planning on doing
I'm
that?
not playing that. No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. But I know it's just a lot of people are looking forward to it. But that's first week of March or something like that, so or May, whatever.
Any
There's a lot of
thoughts
other
on
stuff, Resident Evil remake and
what's going on with your thoughts on your computer stuff? Are you still on hold on that?
It's still there.
Just
it's always in the back of my mind.
I didn't know if the plans were going to be active now that new graphics card generation's starting to pop out.
There's a lot to be said after Christmas happens. Then I can settle in and kind of figure some stuff out. Then sure, things might happen and whatever. But there's time.
Yeah, I'm not pressuring you. I'm not pushing. I'm just curious.
Yeah. No, I keep an eye out every.
I don't have a horse in the race. You do, so I'm like, I'm wondering how he's feeling about things.
You have a horse in the race.
I'm just trying to be
or not tangentially, but
tangentially, yes, but
the old vicariously through you horse.
Well, that's where I'm at.
That's always the pain of whenever I'm like, I don't know, and you're like, just do it. I got Matt being Sith Kermit in my ear.
Do it. Good stuff.
Yep, that's all I got then.
I'm good.
All right, cool. It's been 7 days. It'll be another 7, and we shall see. Ooh, no, it might not be 7.
6.
Matt and I have to talk about that.
Oh, it's Christmas weekend.
Are
you traveling? Okay, we'll figure it out.
So you'll hear from us at some point, and we will see you then. Bye-bye.